In this video, we'll take a look at the different scenario features and settings that you have at your disposal. Now keep in mind, when you load up a regular scenario, we'll just do that very, very quickly. Go to Start menu, start a new game, tutorials. I'll just pick a random one for just example, load selected. We'll pick our side. It will bring you a small page which will give you all the different default options at your disposal. The options are detailed gunfire control, unlimited base magazines, damaged aircraft, realistic submarine combat communications, effects of terrain, communications jamming and disruption, as well as if night and weather affects air sorties. Keep in mind some of these options are not available depending on what version of command you are running. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll begin the scenario, then I'll go back up to here. I'll quickly create a new blank scenario to show you how you can change these different settings and what they actually do. Going up to Editor, we're going to go up and scroll down to Scenario Features and Settings. The top setting is called Detailed Fire Control. This simply means that any unit that has a combined fire control system, such as those found on chip, a DCT, for example, will have detailed situations depending on what it can sense, what the line of sight is like, what the quality of the accuracy is like, and everything along those lines. If you disable detailed fire control, basically you're going to have less calculations, but it's also going to give you a less accurate experience when attacking targets with complicated fire control systems. The next option is unlimited magazines at air naval bases. This gives you the ability to make it so any air base has every munition available to any unit that is parked at it. If you do not select this option, this simply will say that you will have to apply different types of weapons into the magazines of those particular bases in order that you're able to actually use them for any sort of air missions. The next option is aircraft damage. Each aircraft inside of command has a unique number of damage points on it. In this case, if I pull out the first one, you'll notice that this 3MS-1 Bison B has a total of 20 damage points. If we were to get something a little bit smaller, you'll notice it has 3 damage points. Each weapon in the game is defined with a different amount of damage. In this case, if we were to go over to weapon real quick, if we got something a little bit small, such as a 12.7 millimeter, we can see that we do a total of 0.2 damage. If you were to disable this option, any damage taken by the aircraft at all will result in instantaneous destruction of the aircraft regardless of the damage point. If you check this box on, then individual hits will have to slowly accumulate, causing system damage, which will eventually cause a mission kill or complete destruction of a given aircraft. The next option is realistic submarine communications. What that simply means is that if you were to order a submarine to go to a depth deeper than periscope depth, you would lose direct communication with it. In this case, we have an SSN-20 running right here. We'll go ahead and enable submarine communications, press OK. It's going to give us a little warning about it. And now we're going to go ahead and order it to go shallow depth. As soon as the submarine passes below its ability to communicate with us, it'll automatically drop itself off the ability to do it. In this case, I will go even deeper than that. Oop, poof. And now you can see that we've lost communication with that particular submarine. Now, the good news is as a commander, if I see this happen, I can right-click on them, and I can actually order them to come back up to the surface. So, for example, if I click this right here, I then go ahead and ask that one to summon to reestablish communications. If I press that, that unit will automatically select depth shallow enough so that we're able to reestablish, in this case, about 131 feet below sea level. So the other options we have under scenario features include the effects of terrain. Now, inside of the world, on the world, I should say, you have a bunch of different terrain which are going to affect both detection as well as weapon effects. If you need to see what type of terrain is actually visible on a map, you can simply go up to map settings, or game, I should say, map settings, and then you can go ahead and select the appropriate one under view. In this case, we'll do a land cover and give it a few moments. And now you can see all the different types of terrain at your disposal. In this case, you have this red, which is going to be urban and built up. You have this green zone here. You also have some desert areas as well. The last two options are going to be communication disruption as well as communication jamming. Communication disruption gives you the ability to knock a unit's communications out and not be able to communicate with other units around it. Jamming gives you the ability to equip aircraft or other types of units with special types of tools that can actively disrupt the communication and be turned on and off.